Welcome to Tech Talk with Tab. I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Bob.
And we're here today coming to you live from our studios in East Hartford, Connecticut and Tab Computer Systems. And today we're going to talk to you a little bit about the Allworx Verge 9312 phone. This is a new version of the phone that's come out about 6-8 months, and we've deployed these in quite a few of our client locations, and we really need to give you a brief overview of how the phone works and some of its functions. So Bob's going to help me out with this today. So let's get right into how you make a call and all the great features that this phone has to offer.
Okay, so this phone's a little bit different than the other phones. Instead of having the lines of buttons or the buttons on the side, it has a nice little screen on it, LED screen on the front. So it's a self-labeling phone, so we don't have to print new labels anymore.
Oh, that's nice.
And it has the ability where you can enter your a little picture so that the people that you're calling will actually see your face. So they'll know who they're calling. They can recognize you by the icon, or they can just dial your number. Or you can program the buttons for anybody you'd like. It's
Oh, that's
a very neat feature.
That's a really great feature. Awesome. So how do you make a call on this phone? It looks very confusing, but I feel it's kind of easy.
Well, it's actually quite easy. It's a little bit different than the previous phones, but it's very intuitive. So if you just pay attention, we have some soft keys under here, which are very nice. These are your programmable buttons, and you can program them to do many, many things. You have your regular dial pad that everybody is used to.
Mm-hmm.
This bottom button is your volume up and down, which is on the other phones as well. These icons over here can seem a little confusing until you get used to what the icons are. You have one over here for your voicemail,
Mm-hmm.
one over here for your presence setting, and we can get into your presence a little later at another time. You have one over here for paging, and you have one with the little phone and the arrow. That's your transfer button, and then you have a hold button under here. So this little bunch of buttons here, these are your navigation buttons. This is how you navigate through the screen. Okay, and the top button up here, this is your contacts. Has a little, I don't know.
Person?
Yeah, a little statuesque, if you will. But you press that button and you get a list of the contacts that are in your system. So you can scroll down to the person that you want to dial, hit the select button, and it'll actually call them.
Great.
We won't do that today. So hang up. So if you want to make a call, calling is very simple. You can pick up the phone, and you can dial 9 and your number. Area code 860 289 8850.
That's our tab number, so if you have any questions, you can give us a call.
So then you get the call, and you can put it on speaker by pressing the speaker.
For service, press 1. For sales,
And notice
press
the light
2.
that lights up,
For billing
which shows you
questions,
that you
press
are on
3.
the phone.
For our
So, very easy to make the call. Now, if you're too busy and you want to make a call, but you want to continue doing what you're doing and you want to use the speaker option, all you have to do is just dial the number. So for demonstration purposes, I'll just hit the redial number.
Oh, that's nice.
Welcome to Tab Computer Systems.
As
You may
can see,
dial your party's extension or
we won't go any further with that, but very simple. So if you need to call somebody back, you can just call somebody back. The other great feature about these phones, and it's in the older versions as well, is that you have the ability, there's a center soft key that's labeled calls. If you press the calls button, it'll show you your call history. So if there was somebody you were talking to an hour or so ago and you needed to return the call, you can hit the call history button, navigate down, and hit the select button and just call them back. You don't have to look their number up again if you needed to do it.
That's a good feature.
It's a very nice feature.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that feature. So making a call is very easy with the Allworx.
It sounds very easy. So one of the things that I know a lot of people need to do is place a call on hold or park a call. Seems like placing a call on hold is also pretty simple.
Putting a call on hold is very easy, but we recommend that you not use the hold feature.
Okay.
And that goes with all the Allworx phones. If you place a call on hold, I kind of have to lie to you a little bit first so I can explain the feature, then you'll understand. But, so if we get a call and we press the hold button, that call is held on this handset.
Okay.
So let's say that you put call on hold and you had to go confer with somebody in another room.
Yep.
While you're in the other room, that call isn't available for anybody else to pick up unless they
Okay.
know there's a call on your extension. Now this is where the previous lie came in. If you knew that call was here, you could hit *6 and the extension number and pick up that call that was placed on hold.
Okay, so if you're with someone else in the office that needs to talk to the person that's on hold, that's how you would do it if that call resides on your phone.
And yeah, and it's kind of complicated, and a lot of people forget it. And so what we encourage people to do, because they lose more calls than they are able to keep by doing that, we encourage people to get away from the hold function and use park instead.
Okay.
Now the park feature is very nice because this soft key over here is the one that you would press to park the call. And it'll display a parking orbit for 3 to 5 seconds so that you'll know where that call is parked.
So on what extension that call is parked? Like here
Well,
we do.
We have several parking orbits.
Mhm.
There used to be 9 parking orbits, but they've increased it. I don't know, there's dozens of them now. But you rarely ever use any more than 701.
Okay.
So 701 is the parking orbit that most people will have that phone parked on. Could be 702, 703, etc. But the point is that it parks a call, and you can just press this button, and you can see any calls that have been parked, that
Okay.
people are waiting on parked. Typically, by default, there's a park timeout feature.
Yeah.
And the default on that is 600 seconds, which is 10 minutes, which is really too long to keep
That
your
is a long
client
time.
in a parked position. So what we typically do is we'll change that, and our standard putting in, for the most part, has been 180 seconds, which is 3 minutes.
Okay, that sounds reasonable.
So in 3 minutes, it's going to ring back to the phone that parked it.
That's a great feature. I
Sure.
love that.
If the person is away, then it's going to go somewhere else. It could go to the voicemail. It depends on how the client wants that call to be handled.
Okay.
So it could go back to the client. It could go to another extension. It could ring multiple extensions, just however you want that call.
So pretty flexible
It's
then.
very flexible. So you can make it do pretty much anything you want it to do.
Well, that sounds very businesslike. So how do you transfer a call? So we've learned how to call, pick up a call, park a call, place a call on hold, which we don't recommend, but certain situations I'm sure you could do it. How do you transfer a call?
Transfer a call is quite easy. You'll have a call going, and you have this little transfer button, which is the center button over here.
Okay.
And there's 2 ways to do a transfer. You have the quick transfer, and then you have an announced transfer. The quick transfer is the easiest. So you would take your call and hit the transfer button, and if you have the person programmed on one of your pre-programmed buttons, it's a 2-button process.
That's nice.
You hit transfer, and the person's extension, and just hang up, and it's ringing at their extension.
So you don't have to say anything.
You don't
So
have to say
this is a
anything.
direct transfer
Direct
to their
transfer.
phone.
Plus, if you have your contacts programmed for your buttons,
Yeah.
okay, their buttons are lit up when they're on the phone or they're parked. So you can see we have people who
Or
are
D&D.
do not disturb
Yeah.
is orange, or if they're red, they're on the phone.
Okay.
So you can see that at a glance. So you might answer the call, and who do we have here? Rebecca is not available.
No, she is not.
So if we wanted to transfer it to Rebecca, we'd hit the transfer button and go, Rebecca's busy right now. Can I send you to her voicemail? The soft button in the center would be relabeled, and you could see it in real time, it would say 2VM. So you just hit that button, and that phone call goes to Rebecca's voicemail. Very
So
easy.
the soft button will change down here. Right now it says parked calls,
Right.
and redial. So when I'm on an active call, it'll change to be voicemail.
With almost every button you push, your soft keys, the labels change.
Okay.
So while you're in the process of using your phone, the function keys change.
Okay.
So they become intuitive to what you're doing while you're handling a call.
That's great. I know a lot of times I have to transfer calls to Eric because he's not in the office as much as he used to be, and it's great to be able to just hit the transfer voicemail button and then his extension. It makes the transferring very simple.
Transferring a call is very easy. The other way you can transfer a call is, if you don't have a programmed button, you can hit the transfer button.
Mm-hmm.
You can dial their extension number.
Okay.
Okay. While it's ringing, if they pick up, once they pick up, you say, I have a call for you, can you take it? And they'll say, yeah, send it to me. So then you would hit the transfer button again. If they say, no, send it to my voicemail, this soft key 2VM will be there, and you can send it to their voicemail.
And then just hang up and...
Hang up, and the phone, it's going right to their voicemail.
That's very intuitive and seems very easy.
Very easy.
So an intimidating phone.
It seems that
It
way.
seems
at
very
first, but
intimidating, but it's very intuitive.
when you get anything new, it's always going to be a little challenging in the beginning. But once you get used to it, you're going to find it's typically a little easier than just about any other phone system that I've seen out there.
Awesome. Well, I'd like to get into a little bit of the present settings. We've talked a little bit about DND, and I think that this is really where this phone shines, like the Allworx phone itself shines, is really within the present settings and how easy it is to do that and how many presents you can have set.
Yeah, that being said, I'd like to say that that's a feature that this phone has that is, for the most part, I've seen underutilized by most of our clients. But it's a
Yeah, I would
great
agree.
feature. And by pressing your presence setting, you can change your presence to in office, at a meeting, on vacation, I'll navigate down,
Yeah.
on a business trip, at home, just away, or busy. So as you change your presence, okay, this top bar on your
It's like a notification, an indicator bar.
It indicates what your presence is.
Yep.
So the other thing about this is, when you get your phone and you get your extension, the first thing you really have to do is record your name greeting,
Yes.
so that when people call your extension, they know that they've got the right person. And it's in
That's
your
important.
voice they can recognize you. So that's pretty much the only mandatory thing that you really want to do. And the other thing is, if people want to dial by directory, if you don't record your name greeting, it won't give out your extension.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of a mandatory thing. And that's by design. Because you aren't going to record a name greeting for a meeting room or a conference room or a library or let's say a warehouse where there's nobody sitting there. So you don't want anybody to send a voicemail to an extension that nobody's ever going to pick it up and
That would
get
make
that
sense.
message, especially if it's important, and in
Right.
business usually it is. So what you want to do is you want to record your name greeting, and then you want to have that so that people can get access to your name in the directory.
Okay.
So the next thing you do is, the phone has the ability to record a different message for each one of the presence settings.
That's a feature that I really like.
So when you're in office,
Can we pull the present settings up? So
Sure.
those are your present settings. And then when you're in office,
you can record a greeting that they would hear when you're on the phone. For instance, yours is very nice.
thank you.
You want to say, what do people hear when you're on the phone?
I don't remember it verbatim, but it's something like, you've reached the voicemail of Rebecca Altmar. I'm unable to come to the phone at the moment. Please leave your name and a number, and I'll get back to you shortly.
Which is very nice. So you explain to the client that you're on the phone, you're busy, but you're going to call them back. They'll leave you a message, and then It'll be indicated by your this light on your voicemail will be lit up.
Yeah, I like that a
So
lot.
it tells you that you got a message,
Mm-hmm.
and then as soon as you get a chance, you can listen to your message and call the client back.
Mm-hmm.
So that works very well. The other thing is for each of the other presence settings, you can record a different greeting. So let's assume that you're going to go on a business trip. Oops. Where am I here?
There you are. You're on a business trip
Let's
now.
Go on a business trip.
All right.
Okay, so now we're on a business trip. We could record a greeting, something like, thank you for calling Tab Computer Systems. This is Eric Semmel. I'll be out of the office from such and such a date to this date. If this is important while I'm recording, while you're listening to this call, you may dial extension 723.
3? Yes.
Okay.
723.
And Rebecca will be happy to take your call. Otherwise, leave a message at the tone, and I'll be happy to call you when I get back on such and such a date.
Mm-hmm.
Something to that effect. And you can do that type of a recording that's relative to each presence setting. So you can have a different recording for each presence setting.
Yeah, so
which is kinda
you
nice.
go on vacation or on a business trip, you don't have to erase your main greeting. You have a greeting that you can set, which is great. And also for in a meeting, I know we have like many people who are in meetings and they have scheduled meetings here at Tab, and it's great. They can just put their phone on in a meeting, and that person who's calling knows where they are, that they're in the office, and that they'll get back to them when they're out of their meeting.
So if somebody is at a meeting or have their do not disturb, when somebody transfers a call to them, it goes immediately to their voicemail.
That's great. So that person on the other phone isn't like 5 rings into it.
Correct. So it doesn't ring and wait. Since they have their presence settings set, it doesn't ring the handset, it just goes right to the voicemail. So it saves a little bit of time for the person on the other end.
Well, that leads me into my next topic, which is voicemail. So I see that we have the little voicemail button here. I would imagine that it's very easy to pick up your voicemail, listen to it.
Well, I think it couldn't really be easier.
Let me guess. You just hit the button.
Actually, you can hit the button and a screen will come up and it'll ask you to put your extension in and your password or your PIN. So I recommend that you just hit the button in success twice.
Okay.
Very quickly. So let's demonstrate.
Go ahead.
that.
We can demonstrate it.
I hit the button.
Oh,
twice.
look. So now you're calling the voicemail.
Welcome
Eric Semmel.
Oh,
to the Allworx Message Center.
well, that's
Please
very
enter your
cool.
PIN followed by the pound sign, or press pound now to change users.
Oh, cool. So we could check my voicemail. I don't think I have anything in there. So that's one way to get your voicemail. I know on the old phone you could get the visual of it. So on the old phone it'll give you like who called, when they called on your
And you
screen. Can you
still-
do that on this
You
one?
can still get that. That'll be in your call history. So it'll say that you did a voicemail.
Oh, okay.
So, or a call that comes in, it'll typically, if they have caller ID, you should be able to see that it
Okay.
came in. So that's very easy. So you enter
That is
your
very
PIN.
easy.
Also from the message center is the place where you record your greetings. So it gives you an audio clue. You just follow the voice prompts, and you can. That's where it's going to tell you how to record your name, how to listen to your recordings, how to change your recordings if that's what you want to do, and then make sure that you save your recordings when you're finished, so that they're actually there for people to hear.
Okay, cool. Well, I think that we've given a brief overview of how the phone works. There's a lot of information here. It is a great new phone from Allworx, and we here at Tab have enjoyed being able to give this and provide this to our clients, and we do use this here at Tab. And if you find Eric in a demo, you see him with this, and then he'll probably be calling me. But I think that that's a great overview. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
No, that's pretty much it. It's a great little phone. It has a lot of features, and it's very easy to work with.
Awesome. So if you have any questions, you can contact us on our website, tabbing.com, and we do have a full page dedicated to Allworx, or you can give us a call. The number will be scrolling around here momentarily. But I think that's it for today. Thank you.